Welcome to Beyond the Box.
Our guests are insiders that are now out and on our side, dropping nuclear intel and breaking it down just for you.
And now it's time to introduce our hosts, Brenda Lankridge and Suzanne Haunt. Join us and subscribe for weekly shows. Beyond the Box begins now. Let's jump in.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Beyond the Box. And this is one of our new Cryptid editions. Tonight we have BARB Hartman with us and her tales of her Bigfoots and other stuff. And I'm pretty sure she does research too. So we are going to have her here. I've got Andy with us. I'm not sure what time Tommy's going to be in, if he is. Sometimes he's working late, and Susie's had a rough day. So hi, Denise. And so we will go ahead and start off. And first, I'm going to go ahead and start off with our prayer. And I want to ask the Father for more protection for all of the people that were affected by this hurricane and all the rest of the wacky stuff that goes on around here. And please, Father, protect them. Make sure that our government, I'm going to say it, our government doesn't get over on them. It's kind of a bad situation. So, and please watch over and protect everybody who is on our show and who is watching. And I ask this in Jesus' name. And I'm going to try to control Putin tonight because he is just full of spit and vinegar. Yes, Denise, thank you. So let me go ahead and bring out, let's see who I got. I got Mr. Andy. Hi, Andy.
Hello.
And I will go ahead and bring out Barb. Hi, Barb.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. Oh, hi, Denise. I can see the chat. I'm allowed to see the chat, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You can see the
Yeah,
chat.
because I'm like, oh, what is this? I think I'll press this button.
Yeah. I changed the times so people aren't used to us being an hour earlier. So we'll see what happens, but they should get all the notifications. So
Okay.
I don't wait on them.
Yeah,
They'll be here. I love them, really. They're great people. I've got a lot of them that I've known since, I was with Brisney, Denise, Norma. Yeah, a lot of them.
Wow,
So
nice.
they come over here. It's kind of nice. But, I want to ask you, I watched a video that you posted when I guess your husband's you guys have been doing some remodeling and stuff.
Yes.
And you had gone outside and everything was messed up. What?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what this, because the reason I tell you, I mean, this place where we live is so active. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. So, I mean, I really have to think about which. And I know that sounds ridiculous.
They moved the boards that he had stacked up.
Yes,
I think
yes.
you found some footprints and stuff too.
Yeah, that was very recent. Yeah, that was very recent.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, and in that one, it's like, oh, and there's some footprints because it's so like normal. And people say, oh, you should cast the footprints. Why do I need to cast the footprints? I literally find them like several times a week now. So there's
Oh,
no
wow.
reason to cast. Honestly, it's just I feel like I'm very blessed, and I can't believe this because it's really started like to ramp up and for them to show us enough evidence that there's no what else can it be, and
Right.
then shortly after I started getting recordings of them and audio recordings and so and that started in October of 2022 is I was my first time out in the woods that I would say I was actually like researching trying to get evidence, okay, not like actually find one, because at that point I was not ready to see one. No way. I was not ready. I was like pretty terrified that I was going to see something. But one thing that did happen to me that day is that I got grunted at, and that was like I felt that, it's not like, if a dog growls at you or I don't know, or your cat hisses at you, it's like you're not going to feel that, in your like chest kind of. But if you're at the zoo and and I guess like a lion would roar at you, or some larger animal, definitely like the gorillas, they make that sound, and that is what I kind of felt it, and it was like, so I just didn't know what else it could be. Um, and after that, it just it just
All
escalated
the
from there.
time. It's
Mhm.
ongoing. Come visit. Do you
Yeah.
do they leave you gifts, or do you give them, leave them stuff out there?
Um, I think that I can't really say that they've left gifts per se, but I will say that, but I guess it's all in the, eye of, what do they say, the eye of the beholder, or whatever. Their gifts in that, like glyphs. I think what they did, for instance, in that video, taking and, kind of just moving this pile around that and sticking it kind of, some of it was like in the ground. That's hard, like pretty packed hard ground there. And so that's kind of a gift, like, it's definitely a communication. So, and what else could there be, that they could that they could give us, except and their friendship, showing up on photos, letting me catch audio. So you know what, I retract my statement that they don't give gifts, because actually they're amazing
Yeah,
when I think
that's
about that.
a gift.
Gosh, I don't want to. That would sound so ungrateful if I said that wasn't. These are such tremendous gifts. I was always very cognizant not to give them food that they would become, dependent on, or anything that would be unhealthy for them, that would make them
Right.
sick, maybe, that they're not used to. I don't, but and many people said don't gift them with food. If you do, just make it like a treat once in a while. So so things I have done, oranges and tangerines, no, they absolutely didn't even touch them. Apples, and like I got like organic apples at a farm, stand, and they didn't really they didn't seem to like them. They didn't take them, they just left them. But I put a bag of Granny Smith apples out at somebody's kind of prompted, said check to see if they like Granny Smith apples, and put those out. And I think it was like 22 that I had put out one day, and then I went back the next day and there were 11 apples gone, and 11 were left, because they say that they'll only take 50, they only take half, and that was literally half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So then I actually, but I said to them, I said, look, these are a gift for you. Cause when I go out, and I just talk to them like as if I would, you and I, look,
Right.
this is a gift for you. I'm not going to leave. I brought these for all of you. So go ahead and take them. And then the next time I went out, now that was about, I believe 3 days later, because I couldn't get out there, I think. And then there was a day that it was pouring rain. But later in the second, or early in the third, whatever, and they were gone. Then the apples were gone. Now, was it maybe some other kind of wildlife? Possibly. Maybe. But I feel like, well, most are going to leave some kind of evidence that they were there, that they, if it's a deer, well, maybe they'll eat the whole apple, but if it's something smaller, they're not going to eat the whole apple,
Right.
But who knows? But I really thought it was really cool with the first time with being exactly half, 11 of the 22. So
Well, that's kind of neat. So Bigfoot
Yeah.
shows a lot of intelligence, and they can count.
Yes, absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
is-
I mean, and I know people, you know what, this is going to, if I listen to me, 2 years ago, I would have been like, wow, lady, I'm not sure about you. Like, that sounds a lot of fun, but I don't know. I would have, and that's, so if anybody's thinking that, I don't blame you, but I
Hey.
don't know what to say. This is happening. It's
Yes.
happening.
Well, we have other species, and the people that watch my show, they know we have other species that live on this planet. Why not Bigfoot?
Yeah.
And I've always believed that Bigfoot is an interdimensional creature. Like, it comes and goes, whether it uses portals, which I've heard that there's portals in some of the trees. Like, that's why when they walk behind a tree, they like disappear.
Yes.
Yes.
I've
Whether
heard the same.
whether it's portals, whether it's UFOs that drop them off and pick them up somewhere, like they're hitchhiking, whatever. They don't stay here permanently, I don't think. I think they do come and go. Now, unless they're comfortable. Like yours, Sonia's, the ones that are out on Sonia's property that have been there since she was little, they're comfortable. That's their home. And
Yes.
that's it. They like it there. So, I mean, I think we can coexist with them as long as people just don't chase them down to do any harm or anything like that, because they're telepathic, I believe, right?
I believe so. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they can,
like, they would know if they were in harm's way.
Yeah, I think that they can tell a person's intent, so they would be then, they would be, and maybe not to the point where if somebody's showing such, if you're showing such great fear because you are, you're afraid of something, well, it's like that, fight or flight mode. So I think if they shock somebody and scare them and they have that fear so much where, they'll, like, people just, go to the bathroom on themselves, you're that so afraid, the reaction that the person's giving would of course appear super threatening and aggressive to something that, they didn't know exactly, well, why are they reacting like that? So how are they going to act? They're possibly going to act out aggressively. It all depends. I feel like they're somewhat like humans, is that, I think they're half human, honestly. And I don't know what the other part,
what the other part would be.
part of a human hybrid. I don't know, but they're going to act again just as a human would. If I thought somebody was going to harm one of my children, oh my gosh, forget it. People are in trouble, and that's where I think that a lot, any of the issues arise.
Well, yeah, and I mean, they're the same way with their children as we would be with ours, I'm pretty sure. So
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. That that definitely, if they feel that they're that they're being threatened by the humans, and certainly we are we're a scary bunch, aren't we? They will act appropriately. I don't think that they're this violent animal, whatever, that people think, because if we had such concrete proof of them, if they were constantly going out and attacking people and calling attention to themselves, that would be really bad for them. I mean,
right.
If somehow the government could, I mean, this is a whole other theory, because I think that I think that they know that they exist, right? Okay. So so just everybody knows that. I believe that, but I'm just presenting like a hypothesis that if they were in fact these dangerous, terrible animals that some people claim that they are, it would be detrimental to their survival as a species, whatever, because we have the capability as humans to basically be like, okay, we're going to trap them in here and then we're just going to level it, and we're going to kill every single one of them. And that makes me sick to think about if that would happen. So I think they're that smart. Why would they do that? No, they want to be just kind of left in peace.
Yep.
You live your life, I live my life. We can coexist. So
Right. And I've heard that some people say that there's like parallel. I don't know if you know about like the different timelines and stuff.
Yes, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So now I've heard that somebody said that there's a timeline where other species, Bigfoot and humans, all exist together.
Yes.
But it's a policed state. So there's cameras everywhere to make sure that nobody does anything to harm anybody else. Mm-hmm. And my thought to that was, well, that would be pretty awesome, but we're not ready to be a policed state because we can't trust the people running the show. Right. So, but that would be amazing if we all lived together, all species, and everybody got along and helped each other. Could you imagine some of the things that you could learn from a Bigfoot?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, definitely. And I mean, there are certain tribes of indigenous people, Native Americans and then First Nations that they'll say that they did live symbiotically with the Sasquatch, Sabe, whatever it is, that entity is to that tribe. And they traded with them and they helped them and they, just like you said, just coexisted very peacefully and learned things from each other. But somehow something happened along the way. So, and, I mean, I'm a Christian, so I think about just kind of like the creation and we were meant to we live in harmony with everything. Yes. And us as being as the shepherds or whatever of this, of what God entrusted us with, the stewards, and then it just went bad with, and so I don't have to tell you this.
Yeah. I mean, because there's always people out there that think they're smarter than the greater good.
Yeah, whatever. They can.
They really think they are. They have convinced themselves. That's what they've done.
Yeah.
But so have you gone out like camping anywhere else other than your property, going out and had any sounds or what have you? Yeah. Ooh.
Yes. Yes. You know what I'm thinking? I'm like, wait, did you read something? Because that's actually one of the only times that I've gone camping. I don't like to camp. I'm not a camper. I'll do it, but I don't love it. And so
you're like, I'll take my motorhome with my bathroom.
Yes. Because that's what my husband retires next year, and we're planning on getting. Yeah, we're planning on getting a travel trailer to hook up, and that would be that sounds really good, actually, perfect. But yes. But I also, if I'm going to go camping, I don't want to be in a noisy campground, like with a bunch of people and kids and drunks and and whatever. I don't want that. I don't live in that type of an environment, and I don't want that to be like a fun thing, right?
Right.
So, so my husband and his wife love to camp. Well, now they have a little baby. They have a baby, so that's camping days are over for a while anyway, till the baby gets a little older. But they love to tent camp and all that. So in August of 2019, they talked us into it, and And they were like, we'll go for like a long weekend. And I'm like, well, what are we talking about? And they're like, from Thursday to like Tuesday or Wednesday. And I'm like, no. Let's go from a long weekend. Like, I'll go Monday to Sunday. Okay. No, sorry. Friday to Monday.
Friday.
Like, what are you talking about? Friday to Monday. Yeah. So we decided on that, and then they're talking about different areas. One of the things that intrigued me is my son said, "Mom, we could do what's called it's disbursement camping in a national forest around here." I live in Washington State, and Gifford Pinchot National Forest, that is between the two stratovolcanoes, Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens. And I'm like, well, okay, that sounds good. And you basically go way in, just drive in, or there's places that you can camp and walk in, or stop and walk in and then camp, and just there's all kinds of different options, and I like the options. So this is what we're gonna do. So my husband and my son and his wife and I, and their dog, we pack up, go to Gifford Pinchot National Forest, and we're driving in, and it's starting to get dark. And his wife, I love her so much, but she's like, I don't want to do this. I was like, this is scary. And my son's going to me, wow, Mom, it's really squatchy here, because I've always had a fascination with Bigfoot and Sasquatch. At this point, I did not really think, I was not sure that I did not think that they existed. Like I did, but I didn't, right? I was not more skeptic than believer. So all of a sudden, Vaughn, his wife, starts to freak out. And then it's like, maybe we shouldn't do this. I'm like, oh, no, we're doing this because we went through so much trouble. And then it's like, I'm the only one that didn't want to camp. We're camping. So
right, we're here.
Yeah. So anyway, so we get in and we find a nice spot. And it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, we went in, I think, probably about 3 miles and didn't see a soul. Not another car, a person, no evidence of it. And I was like, this is absolutely beautiful. Set up camp, made dinner. And after dinner, so now it's like completely, it's like pitch black, and we're in the middle of the woods. It's very dense. So really the only light is coming, from above, and there were some stars out, but it was kind of cloudy. So, I mean, it was so dark. So after dinner, and we're going to get ready to go, to get ready, to go to bed or whatever. My daughter-in-law walk down the road to relieve ourselves, and their dog was with us, and their dog started to growl at something in the dark. And I'm like, oh my gosh, come over here. And I grabbed him by his collar, and he kind of lunged around at me like he was trying to bite me. And I'm like, that is absolutely the last thing that this dog would ever do would be to bite one of us. I mean, and so his mommy saw that, my daughter-in-law saw that, and she was really upset. And I'm like, I think he's scared. We get back to the camp, to the site, and it was kind of like, oh, that was, their dog it was a big deal that this little dog was so upset. I'm like, and I'm like, listen, it's not a big deal. I really think, anyway, I'm just thinking something was there that dog saw, right? That dog sensed that we didn't know. So,
right.
All right. But so, whatever, we get ready, and then it starts to pour, just as we're really literally ready to get in our tents. It's complete downpour. They get in theirs and we're in ours, completely downpour. So go to sleep. And I don't know what time, because we left all of our phones in our cars because there's no service. So I had no idea what even time it was. And I get awakened by these screams and howls. And I mean, at this point we know I know it was Sasquatch, but I wasn't sure at the time. As I'm laying there, and I was very terrified. Whatever they were far enough away that it wasn't like they were, that they were going to I felt like they were going to run right up, to the camp. Right. They weren't that close. They were quite far, but they were close enough that I was afraid that if we made any sort of noise to alert them that we were there, I was really afraid of that. So I just laid there, and and I again was too afraid to wake my husband or anything, because he'd be like, what, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if they hear I don't know. I was just so scared. But I'm laying there, I'm listening, and it's like I'm going through all the animals. Like, it's not a mountain lion, it's not elk, it's not definitely not a bear, not coyotes. And then I thought, well, maybe it is just like, maybe it's just humans. Like, they sounded like deranged. Maybe it's just like a bunch of drunk, like deranged humans. I don't know, you know, just screaming.
Right.
And then I thought, but humans cannot keep their voice, you know, that long. They can't hold that as long as this was. So I was just getting more and more basically like panicking, you know, and like, what the heck? And I was thinking that it was possibly getting like a little bit louder, but again, it was like, and they were, as I'm laying facing whatever direction I was facing, it was coming from the right side, and it was coming from the left side. So these things were communicating with each other. And again, I'm going to say, like, I think 6 to 8. And then I guess I just fell asleep, which was odd, because I was so terrified, you know, I mean, so terrified. The next morning, I didn't even, I was really so like affected that I didn't even say anything to anybody, because I thought, okay, if I do, my daughter-in-law is going to completely freak out, and then we're completely going to have to go home. Because I was thinking maybe we'll do another night, you know, I don't know, I'll tell my husband. But we ended up, you know, changing campsites, and then we couldn't find another one, whatever, you know, long story short, we ended up going home, but I didn't say anything to anybody. I kind of couldn't wait to get home and get on the internet and search to see if there was something that I could find that was like to rule out any sort of animal noises, you know, because I know I've heard cougars before, but I was like, what if it was a group of, like, I don't know, maybe fox? I was really, again, wanting to rule it out.
Right.
Like, no animals. And then I did tell my husband, I think it was like later that night, I told him, and he's like, well, let's try to figure it out. So nothing, there was nothing that was in Washington state that should make that noise. So I was left with, that. And that is the best, I guess, audio that I heard with my ear that, so.
Wow. That would be kind of neat, I think. Although I don't know what I would do. Well,
yes,
I would be like, wee, in my wheelchair going, you want to ride it?
You know,
I just push this little thing.
I have to say that it even though, like, where I'm at now with them, it's still intimidated me enough that, like, I'll never camp in a tent. No way. Nope. No, won't do it. If I'll go in my car, but and definitely in in a camper, if we get a camper, but absolutely not in a tent, because it's just not enough. And again, I don't, it's not that I'm like afraid that they're gonna, but that is such an intimidating sound to hear.
Right?
I'm telling you.
Don't know. I mean, is it going to be a full-sized one? Is it going to be a young one? Is it going to be, so you don't know how big they're going to be. I mean, I would think that if it was a full-grown male, I don't even think a car would be good enough.
That's true. That's true. Like, if they're going to try to get to us, I think even a couple of juveniles, as strong as they are, that they can also, but that's
I don't think that they really would be. I mean, you guys didn't have a campfire going, right?
No. Well, we did earlier. Yeah, we did, but we didn't overnight. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would think that they would not have any ill intents towards you guys. They might have, hey, no, monster. They might have, Poot, come here.
Oh my gosh.
Sit down and be quiet.
Dog that I love that dog.
My little Putin.
Oh my gosh. I love your dog. Is so cute.
I have
such puppy fever.
He's amazing because he came all the way here from Russia.
Oh my gosh.
Hence the reason why his name is Putin.
Yeah.
And and he acts like a fool at home, barks at everything. But I can take him. I have a metal footrest that I put down, and I keep a blanket folded up on it. I take him everywhere with me. He doesn't get off of that thing. He stands up when we're going like he's captain of this ship. And I mean, he's great. I take him to buffets. I take him everywhere. And he just sits there like, hey.
Yeah. I love that. Personality is adorable.
Oh, he kills Andy. He gets Andy going, boy. But he's also really, I had to look it up to see about Chihuahuas because he's very bossy.
Oh, yes.
Like when he is ready for bed, he sits on that bed and will sit there and stare at me and bark and bark and bark. And I'm like, okay. Then I go to pull the blankets down on the bed and he's running around in circles and he's trying to bite me to get in the bed.
Well, like the other night, he grabbed your foot and tried to pull you into the bed.
Yeah.
Took your sock off.
Oh my gosh.
I've had him sitting in my lap and he'll stand up and hit the toggle switch and try to drive me. He drove me into the front door one day.
Oh no.
I'm like,
Twice.
Oh my gosh.
He tries to drive my wheelchair. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of special training he can get to be able to do that. I'm starting to go blind now anyways. I'm going to need him to drive.
Oh no.
It was like something you saw on TV. She's just sitting there. Next thing I know, she's going,
You see the comedian, all right. And then my other dog is a full-size Yorkie, and his name is Tucker. And somebody told me one day, what on earth are the chances of you having a dog named Putin and a dog named Tucker?
I was going to say, did you plan that? That's great.
No.
Oh my gosh. No, just. Well, they
great.
say there's no coincidences, and that's.
Yeah.
That's
and at
cool.
the end of my show, both of their pictures are on there, and Putin is sitting above my Putin, and then Tucker Carlson sits above Tucker, and it says "Good night, Putin. Good night, Tucker." You know. So yeah, they're my goofy goobers. I love them to death, but I would never take them out camping with me. Well, Tucker's scared to death of everything. And Putin thinks he's 10 feet tall and bulletproof. He weighs like 5.5 pounds, and he thinks he's a very, very big dog.
Yeah. Yes.
So, yeah, he can't go places like that with me either. He wouldn't know to shut up. He would just bark and bark and bark and bark and bark and bark and bark.
Yeah, the one night there was a high-speed wheelchair chase down her street.
Yes.
Because she had the door open and the dog took off.
Oh my gosh.
He did.
Ran out into 4 lanes of traffic on the interstate.
Oh.
And I couldn't get to him because there was a curb and no wheelchair thing.
That's terrifying.
And I'm standing on the side of the road screaming like some crazy woman, waving my hand. And finally, some older gentleman stopped the car, and he got out of his car in the middle of the street. And he knelt down, and he came running right to him. So he brought him over to me.
Thank God.
I get you home.
Oh, that's terrifying.
It's crazy. Then I realized once I got back up here, my front door was wide open.
You don't even think. You don't think.
My cat, who doesn't like the outside, was sitting in the doorway, just sitting there pretty as she could be, like, hey, where you been? You know?
Yeah.
If she'd have got out, then I would have been throwing the dog in the house and running after the cat.
Yeah.
But she's not pretty. She's dangerous.
My cat's a little
She attacked
really
Brenda on live. Grabbed her right in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Grabbed me. I had blood everywhere. She attacked me.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and it's like she gets in these moods. I raised her from the time she was like really little. So I'm mommy. And apparently cats like to wrestle with their siblings and their parents. And so I'm on live and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden you see me move to the side, and Glenn says, "What's the matter?" I said, "Nothing." And here she come. Bam! I mean, she just
all you saw was a big black flash.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like,
next thing you know, you see red just dripping down her face.
Yeah, Jack had to come out and patch me all up. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Glenn was like, "You need an ambulance?"
People ask me, "What are you going to do if somebody breaks into your house?" Well, if they get past the weapons that I have, I got a laser pointer. I'm just going to point it at them and let the cat finish the job, because
Yeah.
Yeah, she's mean enough.
Yeah. That's great though. Yeah, you have your whole little army of protectors. That's
I've
great.
got the wise guy here who hears a fly fart. Okay.
Yeah.
And he starts alerting everybody. Somebody farted. So, yep. It's great. But Tucker hides. Now if he hears Putin barking, he'll come running in here like he thinks he's brave, but he'll hide behind my bed and bark.
Oh.
It's hilarious. It's so funny.
Oh
But then
my
whenever my caregiver has him outside, he's kind of attached to him. And if he's outside, well, then he feels brave because Daddy's out there.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
he'll stand behind Daddy and stick his head between his legs and just bark at everybody.
That's adorable.
I have a house full of comedians, and they're smarter than the clowns that we have in the country. But
Yeah.
but they're comedians. but yeah. So, Barb, how long have you been interested in them, in Bigfoot, Sasquatch? And is there a difference between Bigfoot and Sasquatch? Aren't they the same?
I think there's different I don't know about types, but like a different geographic maybe area of them. Like similar to humans. Why are some humans so tall? Why are some short? You know what I mean? We're all different weights. We're all different, but we have a commonality. There seems to be like certain, we all have the same like features, you know what I mean? But everything, but there's also classifications. Like I know people that look like Brenda. I know people that look like Andy. I know people that look like Barb, right? So, and I think that that's how they are. But as far as, I don't know if there's a difference like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Sabe. I think it, and then there's plenty of other things, plenty of other
like
names, and
Yeti, but Yeti's more like snow.
Yeah, I think that's like a different, totally different climate. Like the very, very, like you said, like Arctic. But I don't know. I know that I was told that by several people that my clan refers to themselves as Sasquatch. So that's what I've kind of, started. And it makes sense because of where I live. It's the Pacific Northwest, like Western Washington, I'm almost into Canada. So it would make sense that that's what they would call themselves. And as far as, I've really been interested in them for such a long time. I remember my dad kind of introducing me to them through we watched movies. We watched like The Legend of Boggy Creek, and which was like, it was great, like entertaining. We'd watch movies like that, and documentaries. And I asked my dad if he had, like, do you believe in them? And he said, well, I've seen them before, or I've seen one. I don't know for sure. Like, I don't know exactly. I wish my dad was still alive so I could ask him these questions, because I never really, got a lot of details. But what I do know is that he told me he had seen at least one when he was fishing up in Ontario, Canada. They would go up there and fish I feel like it was like twice a year, salmon fishing, and then some other thing. And they would hike way in and camp and fish. And he said that he saw, and he called them like a wild man. And I don't know, he said he was just covered in hair, and he didn't have clothes on. And I didn't really ask a lot of questions. I was picturing more like, I wasn't picturing Bigfoot. I don't know. I was picturing more like a feral human, I guess,
Yeah.
But so I don't know. And I was always just really piqued my interest. And so for as long as I can remember, documentaries and all the books I could read. And I don't like anything that's like totally fake. Like, I don't like shows that they're, like about, like a movie about Bigfoot, like Harry and the Hendersons. Like, okay, that's cute stuff, but I don't like
It's not a reality type
No,
thing.
no, I would much rather reality based, like a documentary, with evidence. But I can say that I just 2 years ago, I would think that I literally thought they were just like big apes, some sort of hominid ape thing, just strictly like flesh and blood, that was great at hiding. And I don't think that anymore. And that's again, I would have thought if somebody told me this, 2 years later, that I would be saying this, like that do they travel through portals? Are they sometimes in orb form? And I can say that now. I don't know. I think it's entirely possible. And they can, whether they cloak or can camouflage. I mean, I have videos where I go out and there will be one sitting like 6 feet from me, and I don't see them, and I don't hear them. It's kind of alarming that they're that they're that close. And it seems to be that those, like, I can look into it. There's an area that I know is active, and almost every day I can look into that area and they're just sitting around. Whether they're like in small groups, like sometimes sleeping, sometimes holding like some children, and I see them, but that's about 60 yards away. I've never gotten closer than that. But then there's the ones that I can't see. Again, they're 6 feet, 7, 8 feet from me, and it's like, whoa! I did not see that at all. It's just really bizarre. I don't know I don't know what the explanation is.
Wow, pretty kind of neat.
It really is. It is neat. I mean, at this point, it's definitely neat. Yeah, and it's surreal. It's surreal. But
have you thought about, do you jot down your experiences and different stuff like that? Maybe think one day, if they hang out there and they're there all the time, maybe writing a book on your experiences with them.
Possibly. And I just within the last I don't know, maybe like 2 weeks, started to think that possibly, but that's not my goal. And it's not like I don't have a goal in mind with that. I don't have an agenda. I started to do I started my Facebook page as a way to get information from people, from like-minded people. And it was like, okay, my page, my rules. You're not going to come onto my page and be a jerk and make fun of people and make fun of their questions. I'm going to throw, you're going to get the boot. And because I couldn't find a group that didn't have a bunch of people that would pile on you,
Yeah.
I know now of some good groups, but it's not like they're not kind of out there. You have to kind of be, almost like not invited in. Do you know what I mean? They just don't advertise. They don't want just anybody. And it's not that anybody wants to be like, exclusive. It's just, I don't want to put up with people that are so skeptical that they're going to be rude and mean. Like, there's no place for that. And yes, there's hopes. I'm sorry, go ahead, Brie.
I have a lot of people that will come on the show and they'll tell me that, they went on a different show and the people were just, they didn't talk to them. They were just mean and like almost like they didn't believe their story. And I'm here to tell you, the survivors that I have on the show, they've been through a lot of stuff. And I don't like that. And we tell them, you come on our show, if you don't like what anybody's saying in the chat, which our chat's usually really good. I have some good people that'll help us go through there and block people, and they're just being, because we don't treat anybody like that on this show at all.
Yep.
That's
how I feel. I agree.
Yeah, somebody could come in here and say that they found a baby Sasquatch in a bag and raised it and fed it and it lives in their house, and we're going to be like, oh wow, that's cool. We're not going to say, I don't think so. We don't do that.
No,
So,
that's exactly how I feel. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, everybody has a story, and
Mhm.
everybody has a different story. Not everybody has the same, you know.
Right.
It's not always the
Yeah.
same. So
It seems like too the go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
It seems like the more that the further we get into it, and then the further that the closer you become to talk with people, certain people, and then you hear more of what they don't, didn't want to reveal to people because, how many times do you hear people say, to me, I hear them say, I know this sounds crazy. I probably sound crazy. And and no, you don't. Not
Really?
And you know what? Yeah. But, and like, even, so when I'm saying like, even, like 2 years ago, that I would have thought that I was crazy. I shouldn't really say that because I've always been more of an open-minded person, but I'm sorry, there is just like some bias that comes with not knowing, like, it's just my own ignorance, not knowing that it could be possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's not cool.
You can learn a lot from other people when they tell you things. They may say this and this happened. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Well, now that makes sense.
Yes.
And that's how you learn. I mean,
absolutely.
It's not like you're going to follow around Bigfoot with a sketch pad going, okay, and then what happened? I mean, that's not going to happen.
Yes.
You
you would also ask me, because I just, go time out, Barb, if I'm going down the wrong path.
Oh, you're fine.
You would ask me if I document. I thought I'm going to keep a little like notebook. I'm not good with lists or notes or things. What I do, I keep, I think pictorial, and in video form is what I'm, and then I started to add, I have a YouTube channel now. So I started to add to that, and then TikTok. And because I honestly have so much, and I'm not saying it's great, all this great stuff. I'm not saying that. I just have so much that I'm not even sure what it is, right, or if it's anything. So, so that's what, kind of just to keep a documentation, like you're saying, that I should be doing, and at least I'll know. But because it's very, when you have like such an active place, it's overwhelming, but it's in a good, but it is in a good way, but it does get overwhelming.
Yeah.
So again, not trying but I feel like I'm very blessed, and I'm not trying to complain or, because.
Oh no. Yeah. I think that when I seen that video that you made, I thought, oh my gosh, how cute. They just come in and rearrange and do, maybe they're trying to use some of that wood to build their own thing. We're just going to attach our house right to yours.
Yeah. And it's cute, but yeah. I'm sorry, what?
They may be watching, like, the different construction stuff that you're doing, and they're like, wow, look at them go. So,
yeah. Something that was very cute that I have audio of earlier, I think it was this summer, or maybe late spring, regardless, recently, within the last year. I got these noises overnight up in the area of our carport, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, what is this? It sounded like knocking, like hammering, and then this other noise, and it was like hammer and then this other noise. Then I realized they were mimicking, my husband and my son-in-law were putting siding on our house, and they were mimicking not only the knocking, the noise that the air gun made, like a,
really?
And so I played it for my husband, and I'm like, what do you think this is? And he's like, I have no idea what that is. And I said, doesn't it sound like the rhythm that you and Noah were using? Because they had a rhythm going, because it was like going down, like one of the, not a beam, whatever, to add the
The
I
sightings
can't
and
yeah, just to add the sighting into the framing. Okay, yeah, to add it, make sure it's going into the framing. So, so there was a pattern to that. And then it was like bang, bang, bang. And then this, and my husband said, "Oh my gosh, you're right." He said, "What? You got this overnight?" And I said, "Yeah, like on top, I think they were on the roof of the carport mimicking this. I mean, I don't know what else it could be. It's so,
wow.
and it was cute though. That's really cute.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, some people say they make wolf sounds. So I imagine that that's what they're doing. They're just mimicking everything I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't learn how to sound like a cricket, you know?
Yes. Well, I think so. I think like certainly all kinds of, I know that they mimic frogs here, which are similar
Yeah.
to, a cricket sound. Definitely owls, geese, horses, a goat. I'm
Wow.
trying to think of all the, about 2 weeks ago, there was a whole different, sound that I could hear. I could hear it through my earbuds, and but it doesn't like translate well out into, what I recorded it's not that great. So I'm trying to see if I can somehow amplify it without, or have somebody amplify it for me, and get rid of the ambient noise that takes away from it, but not destroy and diminish, the quality of the recording. So, because that
Right.
can happen. And I've had I have so many like nice people are so great in this field. They're just so amazing. It's like, oh, please send that to me, and I'll take a look, and I'll do what I can. And yeah, people are just so great. But so many times I've heard of people will get back to me and say, I can't clean this up. I can't make this, like, I can hear it, and I know, and I can see it, but I cannot remove. So it's very similar to like with pictures, how they're very blurry in most pictures. And I think they probably do the same thing with audio. So with their, it's
I
just,
think that when they're blurred on these pictures, that's done deliberately. I think
yes,
they can do something to
yes,
themselves.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, because they don't want people to take,
Mm-hmm.
perfect pictures of them and everybody's going, "Oh, look at that,"
Absolutely.
Whenever
Absolutely.
I see any of those, I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably Photoshopped
Yeah.
or something.
I know.
Because
It's
I think
terrible.
that they deliberately know how to hide from the camera lens. That's for
Yep.
sure.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm
we've
gonna,
got
after the show, I'm gonna send you a video that I got. It was either last night. No, I don't know if it was last night or the night before. I mean, this is just within the last, 2 days. I saw what looked like two of them sitting in this bush very close to one of our cameras. We have infrared like security cameras,
right.
and they can see when we're looking, because that like a red circle will come on. Okay. A light comes on also, which the human eye can't see, but you can see it on the other, on the other cameras.
Right.
But they know that I'm watching them. And I thought, wow, because you can definitely see the movement. And I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. And it almost looked like I could see like a smile or teeth or something. I mean, very briefly. And then it's like, it all pixelates. Like then they knew, oh, wow. I mean, I guess, but, and yeah. And you can see it. Like I said, I'll show, it's freaking amazing. But that is what I get so often. I'll tell you, people just have to, if you're dedicated, if you want to get evidence, and you think that you have a good source, then you
Right.
just have to keep at it. And if you are getting enough footprints or just physical evidence, just I discovered this with our cameras, and I don't know of anybody else that has done this. And I would love to talk to somebody that has also done this with cameras, because we just have basic Arlo home security cameras that we have hanging around. We never got anything that prior to this, all of this that looked weird or sounded weird, we would get, the regular wildlife. Okay.
Yeah.
But in, after I got grunted at back in 22, in October of 22, in the first week of December, I started to get overnight like 20 motion notifications or more every night. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And then you would go back and there'd be the camera will, once it detects motion, it records for a short period of time until the motion has stopped. And this was so often. And I'm like, this is like, wow. I don't know what's going on. Then we got, about 5 nights, I got sounds that, couldn't see anything, but the audio, and they sounded like gorillas. Like if you know how they kind of communicate, with the deep, almost like barks kind of, but not, and just, just grunting at each other. And I thought, wow, this is like, this is them. And I need to somehow document this. So then I found that I could actually, like, I could turn on the camera and immediately start to record, and I would be able to then, just listen and see if anything would happen. And you talk about, like, they talk about, people will say that evidence gets removed from their wherever they keep it, the videos. Those 4 or 5 videos that I got that were, those like gorilla noises, all of a sudden they're gone from my phone. And I'm like, that nothing else, as I've never lost pictures or videos. And I thought, and I was like, are you kidding me? And that, yeah, because I'm like, that's such great, such great audio that I would have had. They're like, nope. I know it's, there again, sounds crazy, but it's true.
You have this.
But yeah, but so then, but what I discovered is sometimes I would hear them, and now I hear them on a regular basis. There's one that's very distinctive, and so I have lost a lot of sleep in the last few years and kind of adjusted my whole sleep schedule. I'm a complete night owl, and I try not to do it every night, but it's really hard to just go and like ring around the rosy on the cameras and watch this one, then watch that one, watch that one. And there's 2 of them that are very, very active, with audio. And then the one closest to the woods, that's, so, I mean, everything, tree breaks, or knocks. I think that they clack rocks together, because I hear that a lot, like, and then this one who has the distinctive sound that I believe his name is Mont, or what a human name would be for him, because I got that one night, like, and that was my first, like, I think, experience with mind speak.
Yes.
Because I had been hearing him for well over a year, and it's so distinct. Like, I know immediately when he like makes this noise in his throat, it's like, oh, that's him. So the one night, so I hear this, and all of a sudden this like word is like I see in my head, Mont, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that mind speak? And I don't know if something said it. I just remember it was like a wah, Mont in my flash in front of my like in my brain.
Right.
And I said, Mont, is that, like, in my head, I'm saying, like, Mont, is that you? Is that your name? And then again, that like deep grunt that he gave. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait a couple minutes, and then I'm going to ask him again. And he didn't respond. I was like, I'm going to make you prove that it's you. But so could have been, but I really believed.
That is
it
pretty amazing.
So if you have cameras and you can do that, I would say that's the only way that you're going to get good evidence. I shouldn't say the only way. That's the only way that I've been able to. We have game cameras. We put out game cameras. I think that they can detect them, and you're not going to get anything. with
Yeah.
that. Another thing that I got some pretty good audio evidence is I bought one of the little handheld recorders that now it's not activated by voice. You basically, you turn it off or you turn it on. And I put that out twice. And I got some pretty good stuff both times. But here's the thing is it's supposed to go for 10 hours. The first time it went for 5 hours. And then the second time it only went for 1 hour. And we're talking about like on fresh batteries. This thing has a toggle on the side that you turn it off and on. So you literally have to like press this little toggle button for like 2 seconds to turn it off or turn it on. So however. So this is great.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So
Wow.
Yeah.
They just do their thing, don't they?
Oh, it's kind of amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. It's really amazing.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I have some stuff I'm trying to work on, and like I said, I want to do the whole cryptid and paranormal also. Kind of keeps people from the military from knocking on my door, and other people, 3-letter agencies,
Yeah, alphabet boys. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I just like, what do you want? So, I'm not very nice to them.
Well,
I live in Texas. Yeah. I know my rights.
That's right. That's right.
So, but would you like to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, though, thank you very much. And I wish you well. I wanted to, yeah, like, sure, help you out. Help a girl out, right? You're a great friend. So on Facebook, my name is Barb Horn-Hartman on Facebook. But I don't really put a lot on my personal page, so people friend me. But you're going to get a lot. I'll tell you, you're going to get a lot of like anti-GOV right now,
yes. Yes.
And fight. And that's what you're going to get on my page. So if you don't like that, then don't join that page. On my personal one, don't befriend me. I'm also, what we have to be so careful now with because if somebody has a friends list open or there's just something on there, you never know. You get these vicious trolls. So
I want to show you something.
Okay.
So I have a friend.
Oh my gosh.
Baron is my friend. And he sent me a flag and then told me he had something for me and Susie. So he sent me 2 of the little Trumpinator bears.
Oh my gosh, that is the best.
And I was like,
I want one so bad. Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh my God. Because he didn't tell me what he was sending. He just said, I got something. I'm going to send you. I said, well, send 2 because you got to send one for my friend too. So I said, okay. So he said, it'll be towards October when I send it to you. And right at the beginning of October, they came. And I still have hers is in the box still wrapped up. I've got to mail it out to her because I don't plan on taking a trip out there right away. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I was like,
great gift. It's a great gift. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, that's awesome. So Barb Horn-Hartman, but what I really would, if you're into cryptids, if you're into Bigfoot cryptids, we do paranormal, is no drama, Bigfoot and cryptids. So no drama, Bigfoot and cryptids. Please join that. I'm on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. I put my best, evidence, I guess, on YouTube. So if you're only interested in evidence, go join that. And I'm trying to build that base because it's just a small. Just a small. I'm like 600. I think subscribers. I haven't had it that long, but I'd like to upgrade maybe equipment, try to do that, but I don't know if it would matter or not with them. I think I'll be successful if they want me to be. And if not, then I won't be. But
you run some, you do some podcasts. You
Yes,
co-host
yes,
on some podcasts.
yeah, I do. I have a show on Bigfoot Outlaw channel, on Grizzly's channel. Open the Door with Barb Hartman. And then I'm also on a panel show on Wednesday nights. We do like breaking news of just cryptids, all kinds of just new things, crazy things, whatever. A little bit of conspiracy. I've also recently kind of joined up with the Midnight Society. It's Kenny Thibodeau. He's a dog man researcher. And so he's asked me to join his team too. So I'm learning a lot about dogmen, and so we do shows just whenever. So whenever we can.
That's pretty neat. I know Susie has a friend who actually had a face-to-face encounter with what he believed was a dogman, and he was frightened to death, and it communicated with him telepathically.
Oh my gosh!
And it woke him up in the middle of the night in his sleep. Also, when after he seen it, he was like haunted by this.
Oh
so
my gosh.
We're trying to get him on. He's been doing some traveling, and then now he's doing some work. And for everybody out there who wants to know, I did speak with Dennis Carroll today. He does have his power back on, but he still has no internet. So I've been kind of checking on him every other day to make sure he's okay. Great. I know for a while there, when he didn't have electricity, he says, I'm fixing to go feral here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just kind of laughed at him.
He's such a great man. Oh.
Yeah, he's been on my show, and he wants to come back and do the cryptid shows with me. I go around his schedule, so he does his shows, and I know he's got some shows he's got to catch up on too. So, but yeah, it's. I thought that this is going to be fun. I love the Bigfoot community because everybody is so nice and so, informative. And, once you find the right people.
Yes, I was going to say, not everybody, right? But most, when you find your people, they're the most amazing people. I was just saying just real quick, I'm sorry, unless you're like, shut the hell up, Barb.
Oh, no, you're fine.
My daughter and I were just talking last night, and she was saying about how she's 25 and young, and she's like, oh, I have so much in common with my best friend, and we're so much in common. And I was like, wow, I wish I had a best friend right now that I have so much in common with. And I'm like, wait, what am I talking about? I do. I mean, I don't, they're not like in front of me, but all these best friends that we think alike, and we bounce ideas off of each other, and it's virtual, and hopefully someday we'll all get together. Probably doubtful, but but it's just amazing. People across the globe, so great.
Speaking of across the globe, I guess that's what Grizzly's been doing, just traveling, man.
Yeah, yes.
I get his TikToks all the time, and I just laugh when he makes these videos, and he's laughing. He gets to giggling so hard, and I'm like, but that's probably good for him. I know he spent a lot of time, sitting doing the shows all the time, and so it's good for him to get out and explore some horizons for a little bit. So I'm pretty sure he'll be back stronger than ever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming. Yeah. Jason, you're going to have to watch it later. I understand what you're talking about with Sean Bond. So you get your healing up and you'll be doing good. So that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you all for coming and watching. And thank you again, Barb. It's been fun. I really enjoyed it. And
me too.
You can come back anytime.
Thank you. Let me know.
Right? So, like always, guys. Oh, let me say this. Thursday night, I have Penny Bradley coming on, and her and I are going to, I guess, try to dig ourselves into an even bigger hole with three-letter agency. We're going to discuss government funding and where in the hell all the money went that FEMA supposedly had. Of course, we all know, but she's been doing research on it. She's going to come with all the paperwork.
Nice.
So we'll be doing that on Thursday. Friday, Doug Phelps will be back. And we will have and we are going to be an hour earlier, guys, because it's going to be easier for Susie too. So that's what we got going on. So we are going to get out of here. So like always, everybody, please be kind to one another. Y'all have a good night.
Goodbye for now, from Beyond the Box.
Please join us again for Beyond the Box, Friday and Saturday evenings, from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern. Join us for more intel bombs from our extraordinary guests.
Good night, Putin. Good night, Tucker.